The NHL 25 Franchise Mode Deep Dive is officially here. Now in today's video, I'm going to go through what I feel are the biggest changes to Franchise Mode. But if you're interested in checking out everything new, there's an 18-minute long video on EA's YouTube channel, linked down below in the description, going through everything. I need you to do me a massive favor. Once you're done watching this video or watching the franchise deep dive, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of the changes to franchise mode. After the mode received absolutely zero changes last year, are you happy with all of the changes this year? A big shout out to EA for giving me this early access to the information so I can make this video. And if you happen to be new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more NHL 25 news, gameplay, and more. We are officially 1 week away from early access for NHL 25, and you're not going to want to miss a thing. Now, the very first thing we're talking about here today for NHL 25 franchise mode is the addition of no movement, modified no trade, and full no trade clauses. This includes the ability to modify the duration of the clause and the number of teams a player can put on their list of trade destinations. Now, when negotiating a new contract with a player, you can add a little bit more of an incentive to maybe persuade that player to sign for your team. Now, continuing with the theme of negotiating contracts, we're going to talk about the conversation system, and inside the conversation system, you can actually talk about no move and no trade clauses, and players can give feedback on what they want and maybe don't want in their contract. There are new bars displaying organization and contract interest from a player that will completely change the way we negotiate contracts in the game. Let's say there's a player that you're interested in signing, but maybe they don't want to join the organization. Well, with the conversation system, you can actually try to persuade them, sell the team and the organization in the city on the player, give them guarantees like they'll be on the first line no matter what. Power play one time, you'll be getting a no trade, no move clause, and hit them with everything you can to try and persuade the player to sign with your organization. Now, when it comes to the conversation system, it's not just about contract negotiations. You can also set goals for different players and they can earn stats and X factors by completing these goals. There are both long-term and short-term objectives that can yield immediate results or seasonal results. When it comes to coaches, you can ask them to focus on specific players and specific parts of their games. And you can also have the head coach focus on certain parts of the team's game that will provide buffs and debuffs to attributes depending on what you choose. In the example given, he decided to focus on the power play, so they got a buff to their power play, but that led to a debuff to the penalty kill. There's a lot more to the conversation system, so if you're interested in learning more, again, the link to the deep dive will be down below in the description. But it definitely looks like the changes to the conversation system is going to change the way we play franchise mode for good. The next thing we're going to be talking about is the new hub for franchise mode, as the main screen has gotten a serious visual overhaul. First off, on the left side, you can see the quick links section, which is going to save you from scrolling through menus and will allow you access to everything you need with a click of a button. Then on the right side of the screen, there's a widget showing how you compare to the current team you're about to play. The team standings, you can take a look at the team leaders. This includes forward and defensive points, as well as rookie points and goalie wins, and you can also take a look at the league leaders. In the top right, you will see a widget that shows the scores from around the league. Along the bottom of the screen is a ticker that's going to display relevant information to help you keep track of what's going on throughout the year. Right in the middle, you can see your next matchup, and underneath that will be the projected goalies for that game, showing their stats, and then there's even more information to the left of that. One hub that can be easily navigated, showing all relevant information that you might need to know, having to go through less menus, meaning less load time. This is a long overdue and much needed change to the mode, improving navigation and just improving the quality of life of franchise mode. Now, if you're somebody who likes to go really in-depth with their franchise modes, this is going to be for you. You're now able to view the box scores of every single game from preseason to the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs. You can sort through every event that happens throughout the game, including goals, assists, penalties, the stats for each individual player, and the 3 stars of the game. You can now also look at the game logs for each individual player in the league, showing their stats in each individual game, time on ice, goals, shots, blocks, assists, everything else you might need to know. And this is available through the entire league for an entire season, from day 1 of preseason all the way to the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs. On top of that, they've also added split stats so you can see how players perform individually against other teams while playing at home versus how they play away, their last 10 games, and even more. You now have full access to all of that information for every player in the NHL. Side note, I'm not positive if that's also for the AHL. I'm not 100% sure on that. There was no mention of it, but hopefully that's also the case. Then to go just a little bit further, players can now also view the entire awards history for every player in the league within their player card. From every award at the beginning of a player's career all the way to the very end of your franchise mode, you'll have an extensive history of players' accomplishments. One more thing I wanted to talk about is that the CPU logic has been improved in terms of offering extensions and in free agency to help better fit the team's needs, and using more logic when it comes to a player's organizational interest and their cap space. Now, personally, I'm extremely excited to get my hands on franchise mode. I barely touched it in NHL 24 because there were no changes to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing how things change for NHL 25 and get my hands on it and really diving into it. Let me know down below what you think of the changes to NHL 25 franchise mode. Reminder that there's still a lot more to talk about down below in the description. There's a whole 18-minute long deep dive video going through other changes added to the mode, like the ability to change where draft picks are going, more information on conversations and how you can grow players that way. And of course, if there's any more news that comes out, I'll have another video here on the channel, and I'll be tweeting about it over on Twitter. The link to my Twitter is down below in the description. I refuse to call it X. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Again, let me know down below what you think of the changes to franchise mode. It's nice to see the offline mode getting some love, and hopefully next year for NHL 26, Be a Pro gets overhauled as well. Now, over the next few days, we should be getting the Hughes Brothers face-off and the Hut deep dive, so keep your eyes on the channel for more news ASAP. Anyways, y'all, thanks for watching. Stay frosty.